Good evening. It's Thursday the 28th of June and this is the South West Londoner News Wimbledon special. I'm Kate Tracy.
And I'm Abby Llewellyn. These are the headlines tonight. Our reporters meet an unsung hero of Wimbledon, Rufus the Hawk. He keeps pigeons away from the courts.
Shops in Wimbledon Village are decking out their windows with tennis-themed displays for the 6th year running.
And our reporters experience a day in the life of a Wimbledon Common ranger.
But first, our top story. You've heard of the Wimbledon roof, but have you heard of the Wimbledon Rufus? He uses his own hawk-eye to spot the underplayed menace of Wimbledon, pigeons, and keeps them away from interfering with the action. Our reporter, Lucas Comiskey, filed this report.
The most famous Grand Slam tournament in the world returns to the All England Tennis and Croquet Club next week. Yes, Wimbledon's back, which means the titans of the game, Federer, Nadal, Williams, Sharapova, will all be here to battle it out on the courts. Meanwhile, however, another battle rages in the skies above. Rufus the Hawk versus the pigeons of SW19. Next week, fans will flock in from all over the country to enjoy Pims on the green and tennis on the big screen, and I'm delighted to be here today with Rufus the Hawk, an unsung hero of the Wimbledon tennis tournaments.
During the championships we're there every single day, so we start at 5 AM on centre court every day, but we're there throughout the year as well, so to keep on top of it and to keep the pigeon population down at Wimbledon, we're there about once or twice a week throughout the year. The pigeons just like to hide under the roof, so he knows where their favourite hiding spots are, so he gets right under there, under the girders, and chases them out if he sees them. And so it's like a constant patrol really, obviously the size of it. We go to mainly court 1 and centre court. Rufus is actually just a deterrent. He doesn't go around killing them all, so he's there to scare them, because if he started killing them all, he would never return to me, because he'd be so full up because he'd be eating pigeon every day. So Rufus is now 10 years old, and he essentially trained at Wimbledon, so he's been there ever since he was like very, very young. We got him at 16 weeks old, so trained him there. So that whole 10 years he's had Wimbledon as his playground. The new roof is going on to court number 1. There's been a lot of building work, so Rufus is always very inquisitive about kind of what's going on, so he's always kind of going on to see what, sitting on top of the cranes and things like that. So we worked in lots of different places in London and all over the UK really. So we work at the Northampton Saints Rugby Club, we also work at Billingsgate Fish Market, Westminster Abbey, to obviously lovely sports stadiums like Wimbledon.
Pigeons aside, Rufus has built up quite a fan base, with his own range of merchandise, over 10,000 Twitter followers, and the power to call his own press conferences. He has become the unofficial mascot of the championships.
He gets lots of lovely messages and other birds on Instagram, other dogs on Instagram.
And if you're after a top tip to lift the men's trophy...
Money's on the dial, you heard it here first.
Okay.
Over 70 shops in Wimbledon Village will be competing for the 6th year running for who has the best tennis-themed window display. From a skeleton Federer to a Shetland pony and sweatbands, these ace displays sum up the spirit of the tournament. Rebecca Morley served up this report.
To celebrate the Wimbledon Championships this year, Wimbledon Village are hosting their 6th annual window display competition, with over 70 local businesses taking part. We caught up with a few of them to find out more.
First we spoke to Sophie Kirkpatrick, founder of Atlas and I, who are commissioned by Jackson Stop Estate Agent to create a vintage map display.
The silhouette of the tennis player is created from small sections of a 1932 antique map of Wimbledon. Which is lovely because the tennis courts and the Lawn Tennis Association is such an old establishment that it's marked on all the antique maps as well. So you'll see lots of the tennis court repeated throughout the whole installation. So we sort of combine the tennis with the maps of Wimbledon and then the silhouette of the net just to kind of lift that and grab people's attention. It is tough competition, like I said, so there's a lot of tennis balls and tennis rackets used, and I sort of wanted to kind of get away from that and just totally start fresh, and so we have purely used the antique map aspect, but there are some amazing windows with some beautiful flowers as well, which are really fantastic.
This year what we've done is it's Top Seeds 2018, and we've changed the seeds of the strawberry for the tennis seeds, players' faces. Everyone's really stepped up this year. It's been really good. I think if you go around and see, it just creates such a great atmosphere in the village, really good feel. It's all put on by Wimbledon Village Events and the Wimbledon Village Business Association, which really galvanise everybody into putting on a really good show actually, and really creating a nice community feel in the village.
Next we spoke to local blogger Lady Wimbledon, who follows the competition each year.
We're taking photographs and seeing what's going on, not just the windows in the village, but even down the Broadway, even Southfield. You know, it's actually spread quite far, and everyone's making an effort. I mean, even fantastic Mr. Fudge, the little pony from Wimbledon Village stables, has got his own tennis kit on, and there's some cute shoes in Joseph Azaguri. Everyone's making an effort, you know, it's tennis fever. We're a week before championships.
I now have at least 10 judges who have to visit every window in person. They rate each window out of 20, and then they also have to give me their top 10 in order. One of the biggest things that's come out of it from the very first year was the feeling of community. And that's impacted over how everyone's reacted with each other in terms of the businesses and how involved they get with things, but also the residents. So the residents are looking forward to it, they all want to support it, they want to know when they can start voting, and then the international visitors. And the feedback we get from them is that there is nothing like it anywhere else in the world.
Now, let's hand over the reins to our reporters who've been spending a day in the life of a Wimbledon Common Rangers, who will be playing an integral role in the coming weeks. The tennis will bring crowds of fans who will have the bit between their teeth for the tournament. We sent Tom Wright to Wimbledon Common to find out more.
Wimbledon Common is one of London's most treasured green spaces, and since 1871 it's been patrolled by the Mounted Keepers, London's only horseback rangers.
My name's Richard Thompson, I'm the head keeper, Wimbledon Putney Commons. Riding horses round the Common is the best way to get round, and also it provides a great presence on the Common. We've got 1,140 acres to cover, and you know, we want people to feel safe and secure on the Common. People always come up to us and they'll say, "You've got the best job in the world." We start off the first thing in the morning. I'm the early turn keeper this morning, so I start at 6 o'clock in the morning. I come in, open all the gates, open the toilets, open it up, so basically open the place up, and then do the stable management on the 4 horses, get them out, muck them all out, feed them. We work and patrol daylight hours, so up to 5 o'clock we'll be out on patrol, as in the summer, sort of 5:30, out on patrol on the horses.
The 7 keepers, who all live in their own specially provided cottages on the Common, split the park into 3 patrolled sectors. The rangers and their mounts cover every square inch of land on their beat, even parts that are in overgrown and hard to access areas. Keeper Guy Brown has watched over the Common for 16 years and explains the range of backgrounds that the horsemen bring to the job.
I did 24 years in the military, and part of my job was riding horses in the household cavalry. There's a sort of unique thing of being a horseman and having done a sort of security type role that fits here just perfectly.
Although head keeper Richard rides all the horses, 9-year-old Scrumpy has stolen his heart.
Well, I would say my favourite horse probably is Scrumpy, because I went and tried him for a start, but I find he has the best nature for the job. But we all ride each horse, but I think we all have our own little favourites. I know Guy's favourite's Scrumpy as well, so have a bit of dust up each day to see who's going to ride them.
This summer's near record temperatures mean that Wimbledon and its commons will be busier than ever. July's tennis tournament will guarantee an extra influx of visitors to this bustling green space. Visitors to the park can be sure that they're in safe hands under the ever watchful eyes of the Mounted Keepers.
That's all from us. For more news and stories from South West London, visit our website at swlondon.co.uk.
And you can follow us on Twitter at SWLondoner. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Good night.